to the Yap Session Part 2. Part 2? Number 2. Oh my god. Today I am yapping about general AI, which is kind of just the general concept of AI and basically, yeah, just yapping about it. Nothing in particular like yesterday. Um, yeah, so let's get into it. I'm drawing this picture in my sketchbook. You can't really see it because I drew it with graphite, but it is there. I'm going to be painting this with gouache. This, what do you call it? This color, this background is a gouache background. Yesterday I was working with watercolor, but I'm not very good at watercolor. I use it sometimes, but not all the time. So whenever I'm using watercolor, it's always like the first time. So yeah, today I'll be using gouache. This is my teeny tiny gouache palette. It's almost out of this blue color, and the what do you call it? The mixing palette is a little dirty. I'm gonna clean that. But yeah, I have a video on my channel for my travel materials that I use. So if you are interested in that, you can watch that video, I guess. I don't know. It's up to you. But yeah, yesterday I was painting. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I was painting this. No, there's actually nothing in here. It's just like the second page. I was painting this, and it was based off of my art supply. It didn't go great, needless to say. It's not fantastic, but you know, we live and we learn. I am thinking about like touching that up later, but today I'm going to be using a more familiar medium and talking about AI. So I think tomorrow, if you know it's not obvious, I am going to be doing this every day until I feel like stopping. Tomorrow I'm going to switch it up. I'm not going to talk about AI. I'm going to give the topic a break, talk about something else. But today I didn't really have anything in mind. I just wanted to yap about how interesting it is that these models are being pushed to us, and you know, the general consensus is that, you know, AI is not great. Now, I haven't done a study on this data, so, but usually, almost always, it's like, oh, AI is bad, blah, blah, blah. If you use it, you will be bullied for using it and canceled or something. I mean, I want to say it's valid, but I don't want to condone, you know, bullying someone. But yeah, if you for sure know like the history behind specifically generative AI with art and things like that, then you will know how those models are made, usually unethically. I don't think it's considered illegal yet, but I don't know if it ever will be. But yeah. But yeah, if you use AI, you're a bad person. Unless you're using it for like very technical reasons, like building an app or I don't know, designing a website or something along these lines. Studying, maybe not like to write your whole paper, but maybe help you get some ideas going, get it started, right? Um, I am in grad school, and a lot of my professors are kind of like on the younger end, right? And so a lot of their programs or a lot of their material kind of like tries to work with students that use AI, or like if you can't beat them, you have to work with them. I don't know, something along this mindset. And so a lot of their um a lot of their course material. Oh, thanks. I can see comments now, by the way. Um, Someone said fire. Oh, speaking of comments, hi. Um, Someone thought I was a guy yesterday, and I'm not a guy. I know my voice is deep, but I am actually a female, and I know my picture. I look bald. Hello, Hunter. Hello, Eisenblocks. Hello. Yeah, I'm a female. I'm not a guy. I mean, I think it's supposed to be an insult, I guess, but I don't know. Anyway, where was I? I completely lost my chain of thought. Um, yeah, so a lot of my professors want to work with people who use AI, and so they say that if you use AI, if you use AI, you have to write the prompts you're using, and then show the output, like the direct output from the um, AI, and you have to put what generator you're using. So I mean, what model you're using. So if you're using Adobe, Google, or ChatGPT, you put the prompt and then you put like the direct output. Now I know for sure. Um, I have used ChatGPT, the free version, not the paid version, before and things like that. And a lot of times, it it doesn't get the answer you want right away, and so you have to like ask it a few times, right? And so my question is, I haven't used it for class, but I wonder if those who do use it, um, just kind of like put the whole conversation, because sometimes if you're having a hard time explaining to it what you want, or maybe you're not like getting the idea down, then how do you kind of, display that to your teacher? Like, and I'm pretty sure they're not like checking the prompts and whatever it outputted super thoroughly. But I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting approach to how they're trying to deal with AI by just that approach. I don't know. Um, but usually you can tell if someone uses AI. Even when we're doing like feedback, I'm taking a graduate school writing course. So even if you're doing feedback for writing and things like that, a lot of stuff that you read from your classmates, uh, you can kind of get the sense of like, okay, this might be AI. This doesn't sound like something like a person would say, or specifically this person, because you're going through the course, you're seeing the things that they post, and you're kind of getting the idea of who they are as people, individuals. And that's not to say that everything that they post is AI. That's not to say that it's not. But, usually when we post discussions, it's more laid back, it's like really chill, and things like that. And usually when people use AI, they use it for larger assignments, you know, things that might require you to get peer feedback on. And I'm just using my school or my program as an example. Not to say that there's always like people that use AI in my program, but I'm pretty sure like in college in general people use it. Of course, there have been proof of this. So it's just interesting to see how schools are trying to tackle people using AI and not just like with their schoolwork, right? It's, I guess in life in general, because if you're comfortable using it for something like, a college degree, you're probably using it for emails or text messages, or just to kind of Google basically how we used to use Google back in the day. That's kind of like the new Google. I mean, even when you use Google, there has like the AI, right? So I personally don't really trust the AI that Google uses. Like sometimes it's right, like for simple things, but when you're looking for something like super detailed and in depth, and you kind of like, you don't want to use Google for that, because you want to cover all the bases basically. Uh, so yeah, I think it's interesting that AI is kind of like being pushed in this way. And from my perspective, even a couple years ago, I want to say maybe 2021, that's around when I graduated from my undergrad program, AI wasn't as large of a conversation as it is now. I mean, like now it's, more used, and it's being integrated into a lot of the programs that we had already been using, right? Even if you don't want to use it, it's kind of like at the forefront of whatever program it is, especially for things like Adobe. I used to use Adobe a lot, and I started to see kind of AI being used with Adobe in um, a lot of I completely lost my train of thought. Oh my god, I'm tired. Anyway, yeah, a lot of those programs that I used to use are now kind of just shifting towards AI. Another example is Notion. I use Notion for just note keeping. I remember I was using it at my job one time, and I liked the program so much that I was like, "Oh, cool! Let me download this and use it in my workflow." And then I found something else that was a lot more convenient, but I heard about Notion being useful for something I cannot remember, but I decided to go back to it. And then when I did, AI, boom, AI. It's like now they have their own model and things like that. So it's not the way that it used to be, I guess, but it's not. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can just turn it off. It also kind of bothers me that it's just there. So I don't know, collecting data, throwing stuff away. I saw somewhere that AI threw away a girl, basically just constantly throwing her stuff away, and she didn't know about it until later on. That hasn't happened to me. But who knows? Maybe I'm just like missing things that I haven't uh, thought to check. Who knows? But I can also see the benefits of AI. I'm not completely like pooping on it. It's not like, the worst thing in the world. There are definitely a lot of things that are worse, I'll say. So yeah, I want to think. I'm trying to think about the benefits. The benefits. The benefits. The benefits. Let's see. Can I think of anything? What are the benefits of AI? There are some, I'm sure of it, but I cannot think of what they are. I mean, processing data, large amounts of data, like quickly. That's a good thing, right? Has to be. Another good thing is like, depending on the company and how they train their model, it's it's a good thing to be able to like process that data as soon as possible. Especially for people that might need it right away, especially for example, healthcare, being able to diagnose a issue. These can be very crucial circumstances for people, and having AI kind of like as a tool for that. I've seen it be used in like super useful ways. In the comments, people are like, oh, this is what AI is supposed to be used for. I mean, I was surprised when I saw it, but if that's the case, sorry, I'm getting quiet. If I ever get quiet while I'm like in the middle of talking, like I just started focusing all of a sudden. oh my god, I just stopped talking. I got super dizzy, but I'm still focused on drawing. Or painting. This is not turning out the way that I imagined it would, but I always think that whenever I'm painting something with gouache. And then somewhere near the end, it starts to look much better. I haven't even explained what I'm doing. Well, right now, which is I am painting with black and white over blue. And if you are familiar with gouache and how it works, it picks up if you apply wet. Even if you apply wet on dry, sometimes if you work fast enough, it doesn't pick up, but sometimes it does pick up more often than not. It picks up. And so what I'm trying to do is apply it watery and just a lot of pigment. So, and working fast. So when I finish this area, I don't have to come back until it dries, and then we do another layer. So that's what I'm trying to do. But sometimes what you try to do is not what you're actually doing. The intentions are there. So I don't know if you can see or if it's coming up on camera, but behind her are these little arches. I originally planned to paint this like in full color, but then I just sat down and I was like, no, I'm just gonna do black and white. So now I'm not gonna paint this part, probably not. It's just gonna stay like that, which is fine. I say that a lot, but it's mostly just because I don't want to do it. This is supposed to be draw and yap. I am not yapping. I guess to wrap it up, the topic of AI. Who knows? Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist that AI is not really as impactful as we want it to be or we believe it is. I mean, it has some real world result. Hi, Tilts. If I pronounced that correctly. I need to put my glasses on. Yeah, AI is not that big of a deal. I mean, do I want my artwork stolen? No. I don't want it stolen, but hopefully we can get moving on some bills on getting these things changed where companies aren't just stealing people's data and building very elaborate tools to control us with, because that would be great, you know? If we can kind of still have this idea of self-identity, that would be amazing. But in the meantime, I don't think it's that bad for me right now, but that might change. So I'll reserve any conclusions that I might have for now. I'm still on the fence. I feel like I'm still talking about AI art. Maybe. I am gonna wrap this girl up. She's not horrible. She's not great. And technically this is a filler page. This is not like an actual page. I mean, it's a sketchbook, so everything's a filler page. Right now I'm twirling the brush into the gouache so that I can get like a really dry, adding a little bit more water. I can get it really dry but really pigmented white. And I'm going to try to drag that up across the bottom. They have to be perfect. Nothing is perfect. Just have to see it a little bit, which I can. So that's good. Dust this off, and then I'm going to turn it into a mixed media paste. This is a Japanese pilot marker. I don't know what this is, if you can read Japanese, but this side is like gray. They're both pretty fine tips, and then this side is black. I really like using this one for shading line work. I used to carry like several multi-liners in my bag, and I still do, just not as much as before. So the video I uploaded with my supplies and stuff, that's a few months old. I think it's like 6 months ago, from 6 months ago. So I have removed some things that were in that video from my bag. But for the most part, everything's pretty much the same. So if you're interested in figuring out what tools I use for some reason, yeah, go check that video out. But honestly, I always recommend people just kind of see how the tool works and then use it for themselves. Don't, just go out and buy something because someone told you to, unless it's somebody you know really well. But honestly, I've lost a lot of money that way, just going out and buying things like, oh, these are really great. Like, see how it's used, see if you like that technique, or if you want to try it, even if you want to just try it. It doesn't have to be set in stone or anything. So give her some baby hairs, old school baby hairs, not the new school baby hairs. I think that's all for this one. And then I'll add some stray hairs. Yeah, I think that's all for this one. Came out pretty okay. I wasn't expecting much. I was just feeling this pagey and I didn't want it to be empty. Yeah, I think that's all. That looks good. That looks acceptable. Yeah, so I'll be back again maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll switch it up. No more AI stuff. Tomorrow maybe we'll talk about, I don't know, Japan or something art related. Yeah, I'm done. That's it. My wrap up question is, what do you think about AI? Do you use it? How do you use it? Why do you use it? Where do you use it? Etc. Okay, bye.